family. As I told you, Dr. G here. I promise you every week we're going to have important content. This week, I don't want to waste any time. I would like to get right to it. We already know what's going on, and we're all alarmed and scared because to date and still growing, we have over 5,262,759 deaths and counting from COVID, people who have died from COVID. And this was actually as of late November. So we know the numbers have increased and is constantly increasing as we speak. And we know that confirmed, we have over close to 300,000 confirmed. And I think it's something that we have to discuss because a lot of us are afraid to discuss because of the angle people are going. What should you do during this time? I believe it's a time that we have an expert discuss what's going on. And I have nobody better or that I see more qualified, as we all know, or more fit to discuss this issue than someone in the healthcare field who's actually a good friend of mine and my sister. We grew up together, we went to junior college together, and then she branched out and went to FSU. She went to numerous amounts of universities, and she's well equipped and educated for such a time as this. Let us welcome to the show, Miss Sis Uslande Auguste. Thank you for coming on, Nurse Uslande. I know you have a lot going on. You're actually in uniform. She's at work, and she's taking time to discuss this issue with us. Can you please tell the viewers tonight, as we're discussing, what's going on with COVID, the different variants, the OMICRON, that variant that's out now. Tell us what you're currently witnessing in the hospitals today.
Hey, Dr. Fab, and everyone that's listening, thank you so much for having me. It is an honor and a pleasure for me to be here and let you guys know and your listeners know that what's going on. And like you said, what's best to find a nurse that is, or anybody in the healthcare that's on the ground and that can tell you exactly what's going on. I don't know, where do you want to start? Population at least? I don't know, but.
This is because it's so complex. And, just give us an overview of what you're experiencing, because I know statistics is being played with, and I'm not getting into specifics of how it's being played with because we don't want to get into the politics, and we're not trying to make anyone uneasy based on vax, non-vax. That's not our objective. We want to focus on what it is, let's say what it is that you're currently seeing in the hospitals on a day-to-day basis as far as deaths, what's going on. Just give us a brief overview of your insight and experience today.
Okay, so COVID-19, the Delta, the Omicron, what have you, it doesn't have a race, it doesn't have a gender, it doesn't have an age. It could attack anyone at any time. But what we see right now in the hospital is that everyone with comorbidities or who have already been diagnosed with either diabetes, hypertension, any autoimmune disease, what have you, that their body is already fighting. And now that you're adding COVID, it makes it worse. So those are the patients that we see that once they are positive for COVID, they're the one that passes away, that has disabilities. And sad but true, our Caribbean family, our African Americans, our Hispanics are the ones that have those comorbidities, like the diabetes, the hypertension, heart disease. So you may see a lot of the numbers say African Americans are dying from COVID, but it's because of the other things that's occurring in their lives.
Wow. So it's those issues.
Underlying issues, correct. So we see that a lot. The pediatrics world, oh my God, I don't know how the peds nurses are doing it, but you have these children who are always also being attacked by COVID. And because, they don't have the latest vaccines and their body just don't know what to do, their body shuts down on them and they too are a victim of COVID-19.
Wow. And needless to say, many people have. I remember there was a period where even the previous leadership took it light. They said it was serious, and just to mention the facts and the severity of this, I personally actually had the COVID encounter with COVID, and I nearly went away. And mind you, I've never had any underlying issues, and you know me well because you've nursed me. You've been a nurse to a lot of my family and friends. You know our medical history. We can honestly say, being together, you've never seen me have asthma. You've always seen me do sports.
No.
You've always seen me active. But the crazy thing is, I think even without underlying issues, people are unfortunately going away. You know, recently, Beck was literally telling me how a co-worker of hers, they just buried her, who was a nurse, you know, lived a private life. And it just, like you mentioned, has no discrimination. And we know that lately the biggest variant now, people are saying, don't be alarmed. We don't know what to really expect, because as it was mentioned before, as I mentioned earlier, the previous leadership or the previous POTUS didn't take it serious, and we are now in a weird state.
Yes.
Should we be alarmed by that Omicron? They say Omarion, messing with the guy's name, but should we be alarmed by the Omicron variant?
Man, Omicron, as research says, not what I say, but as research is showing us, it's worse than COVID-19, it's worse than the Delta. It multiplies 4 or 5 times more than the Delta. Right now, it is raging through South Africa. And the vaccine that they have been given in Africa is not really attacking the Omicron like they think it is. So that's why they're boosting everybody to get the booster and all these things. But that's still a question mark. Still trying to figure it out. So the Omicron, I mean, any virus, you guys have to have your antennas up, pay attention, look out for yourself. You have to be your own advocate. Wear your mask, wash your hands. And like I always tell my patients, the doctors can tell whatever they want. I can tell you whatever you want, but you have to be your own advocate. You have to take care of yourself, because at the end of the day, it's you and your family that's going to suffer. So wash your hands, wear a mask. If you decide to take the vaccine, take it. You got to do the booster, do your due diligence and do that. But you have to be alarmed. The Omicron, as research is saying, is worse than what we had before.
That is crazy. And it's just astonishing, because that's what I mentioned earlier. That's why I don't like people to get caught up with social media statuses or posts, because these folks aren't news agents. These folks aren't in the news industry. These are people who are possibly repeating what they've heard, which is what we call the new norm of rumors. And people are telling us, oh, this is not a big deal. The Omicron variant is not a big deal. But now to hear the statistics coming from a professional, folks, we have to take this serious. Now, one thing I want to really talk about, and I know that, you have a full day ahead of you. You have folks that need you, patients who need your attention. And we do appreciate you taking this time, Nurse Auguste, to come on this show to discuss this, because we want people to understand the severity of this virus, how important it is for you to take it serious, because right now we know the holidays are approaching.
Yeah. What
precautionary measures would you recommend people take during the holidays? Because we know that during the holidays, people have the proclivities to go to these big shows with a huge quantity of people, major events, and they just have this thing now, we all outside, that slogan, we outside.
Yeah.
What do you recommend people to do as the holidays are approaching? Especially with this Omicron variant that just kicked in, and the stats you mentioned, what are your recommendations for people going out or who wants to go out and enjoy themselves?
Yes, I don't know if you remember, Dr. Fabre, when COVID-19 hit us, we didn't see it coming. We just woke up and we're like, what is this? What happened? And everybody just hit the pavement and ran.
Right.
And we need to take the Omicron, I believe, the same way. You have to be, now that we've been through what we've been through and we're more educated, I would still recommend everyone to wear their masks, wash their hands, use hand sanitizers. If you don't need anything outside, do not go out there and just go to the parties. And a lot of people now are having the football games that are going on now. They're having all these get-togethers. We were speaking today in the nurses station how all these NFL games, and we see they're packed like sardines. And we're like, oh my gosh, if Omicron really hits United States, imagine how many people. I know earlier you said about 300,000. It's actually 800.
Confirmed. which means
confirmed. Correct. Okay.
They're not even coming forward.
Oh, well, they're moving up to 800,000 now.
Good God.
So
and mind you,
800,000.
Mind you, the stats I derived was from the month of November. So we're in what? Today is the actual 16th of December. And this is where we are after, this was less than a month that I pulled these stats. And now to hear you say we're at 800,000, which means it went higher than double the amount. Yes, and people are taking this lightly. And I really want all of my viewers, my family, and friends, I'm bringing this content to you because I want us to take it serious. The holidays are approaching. The New Year is approaching. And I know that these are two major holidays that we all like to see. Go outside, live it up, go to clubs, go to parties, go to major events, and you don't want to miss out because you want to be the light of the party. You want to live your best life, as we like to say, and be outside. But I really want you all to take the precautionary measures because, as Nurse August just mentioned, these numbers are growing vastly and people are literally dying. And you mentioned something that is profound earlier. A lot of things are questionable, even with the resource that they give us, resources that they're providing us, that is supposed to help fight it. People are still dying. And I'm not here to advocate if it's good or not. We just want, as you mentioned, to face the facts. Nurse Austin said it best. You have to take care of yourself. You have to do what you have to do for yourself. There's one thing I want to ask you, or if you can even provide some insight and recommendations. I know for sure a lot of us, are people of faith or people who just don't, set provisions oftentimes, especially island people. Yeah. We don't like to prepare for the worst. Like we don't like insurance, life insurance, a proxy, something, etc. What final recommendations would you provide our viewers tonight that you feel they should definitely capitalize on while we're dealing with this pandemic, while we're dealing with this virus, the different variants of this virus? Please provide your recommendations so people are prepared for worst case scenarios. We are people of faith, most of us, or some of us, whatever the case may be. However, we do believe God is a God of wisdom, and we also believe we serve a God who says, who emphasizes prevention is better than cure. So what do you recommend as preparation, as far as insurance, proxy or so forth, and even precautions you want to reiterate for our viewers tonight?
Okay, two things. One, life insurance. I'm not going to sell you life insurance. I'm not going to tell you which company to go with, but you have to have life insurance. I don't know about you, George, but I am tired of these GoFundMes when people pass away. I'm tired of it. Be prepared. So get your life insurance.
Let's be honest.
Yes.
I feel embarrassed for the people that they have to go through.
Yes.
That. I'm not downplaying or minimizing them, but I feel sorry that they even have to go through that. But go ahead.
Yeah. So get life insurance, do your due diligence, see which life insurance is best for you and your family. I don't care if your child is 1 month old or if your child is 105. If you're 105 years old, please get life insurance because you're going to need it. God forbid something happens, there's money aside to take care of what needs to be done. Because listen, when you're in that predicament, God forbid that you pass away and you have to leave this earth, your family does not need that extra stress. They're already losing you, and that's a toll. But that extra stress, the extra finance challenge that they're going to face is not going to be worth it. So do it here while you're here on earth. Pay that extra $100 a month and get your life insurance. The second thing, proxy. So I don't know how to break this down even better. So many people put their proxies or the person that is assigned to say, hey, in case, always recommend. Let's do this example. If you have a flat tire, will you call a chef or a mechanic?
Very good.
You will call the mechanic. So always try to find a proxy or someone that can help you make a decision. If you can't, that's in the healthcare field. Maybe it's one of your family members. Great, awesome. I'll always tell people, if you can find someone that you're close with or know, can trust, that's already in the health field, I bet you they can help you more in that moment when the doctor say, hey, what should we do? And your sister's like, I'm a third grade teacher. I don't even know where to start. So that's an advice I would give to someone.
Awesome. And, you know, as we always mention, get tested as often as you can. Take the COVID test. Honor the 6 feet distance, which people don't honor much anymore. People are always right behind me, and I'm looking at them like, excuse me, wear your masks.
Coughing, sneeze, everything.
Exactly. Do not become negligent or think that it's over. You know, we are people who believe that God can protect us, but we also believe that we must be wise. Nurse August, I can't stress enough, my sister, my family, I appreciate you for coming on our podcast. And of course, this won't be the last time, because we do need an update, constant update, because people need to understand the severity of this virus. And I definitely appreciate you coming on. And good people, don't forget to like, share, repost this episode, because we want people to practice prevention. We want people to practice safety. We want people to live long. We want people to live long enough to continue to build their legacies for their children and their children's children. But we thank you again for coming on our podcast, Nurse August. And more importantly, we tell everybody, don't forget, no matter what you've done, no matter where you are still qualified to win. But in order to win, you have to partake in these safety measures and also allow wisdom to take place and preeminence in your life. Love you all. Yes. Thank you all. Nurse August, thank you again for coming on. And I know that you have a whole lot to do tonight. Your staff needs you, but you came on to be with us, to provide us this pertinent information. And we thank and appreciate all of you. Thank you all. Good night. Peace.
Peace. Good night.
Good day to all my family and friends. Dr. G here. Listen, I can't thank you enough for all of the support, all of the kind words, all of the encouragement you've given us. You all keep me motivated. You all keep us going. Don't forget to visit drgeorgefabre.com. Again, drgeorgefabre.com. You can purchase our merchandise. You can purchase our books. You could even book me for any of your upcoming events. If you want a speaker for any speaking engagement, if you need a host for any of your bar mitzvahs, weddings, any gala, I'm there at your disposal for all of your needs. More importantly, we thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share our YouTube channel, Qualified Podcast. We thank you and we appreciate you for all that you've done, and we can't say it enough. No matter where you are, no matter what you've been through, this is not a cliche, but we're just reminding you that you are still qualified to win.